Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All Geek Moviecast, episode 374. Not looking that from. I'm not reading your cue card, I promise. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
I'll hold. That's okay.
I'm looking for General Hux. And Tony Korkanakis.
Rebel scum.
Welcome, listeners, and welcome, viewers, to episode 374 of the Moviecast. It is post-episode 8 of Star Wars, The Last Jedi. We have a spoiler cast coming out as well, if you don't know. So if
massive one. I think that might be the longest one.
That may be the longest,
I think it's the longest
spoiler cast in the history of spoiler casts. It might be. I think it is, without a doubt.
Not as long as the movie, but
it might be the longest.
Close.
It could be one of the longest podcasts in the history of
I think it's
podcast.
definitely one of the longest podcasts.
Yeah.
No, we used to do real long ones early on. I remember that.
Almost 2 hours? I don't know.
We did 2-hour podcasts at first. Intentionally.
Well, because we would do one podcast. Now we kind of break them up, so it could possible for sure.
Right.
Anyway, let's move into the box office.
Let's move into the box office.
How did Star Wars do?
Let's talk about that. It did $220 million domestically on opening weekend. Second best opening weekend of any movie ever domestically.
Just behind
Force Awakens.
Oh.
Just behind.
Wow, 20 million,
30, closer to 30
closer
million.
to 30. Listen, $220 million is a fantastic number opening weekend when you're dealing with also a weekend of... it's a week before school it's out. Percentage-wise, there's less kids available to see it on Fridays. And it's the same idea right now.
Well, movie shows don't... Like, you don't need to... Like, they don't always have them during the day either.
Well, the idea is, though... the idea right now is there's a drop-off
on front, right.
There's a drop-off going on of this this Monday of 60%. That was $21.5 million it made, which is a little more than Rogue One, but way less than Force Awakens. But the argument is that most kids are still in school until Wednesday. So the weekend is going to be very... The idea is the weekend is supposed to be very strong with this movie. So we'll see. Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I just like to point out that despite being, downward trending, $220 million in 4 days is as much as Justice League did in 30-something days.
It's done. It's box office run.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah.
It's pretty much done.
It's done, Mike. Box office run.
Yeah, my brother wants to go see it.
$219 million.
It will wind up having grossed less worldwide than Doctor Strange.
Yep. Officially.
Is it out in every market already?
Yeah, it's out.
Yep.
It's oh god, yes. That's
not done in every market.
The Last Jedi is at $450 worldwide, and it will not open in China until January 5th.
Okay. There's no money more for Justice League. It's done.
So the question here, Mike, is our bet. I think I'm going to lose our bet of Force Awakens versus Last Jedi.
Probably. I made that bet because that's like a record-breaking event.
Yeah, but I thought this cannot perform it worldwide. I really did. But I don't know if it's going to.
It had the potential. It's just, it is hard. It's hard to match it because you have that momentous occasion of, wow, we haven't had a Star Wars in, 13 years or something like that?
And a direct sequel to something from 30 years before.
I'll tell you what, I'm a little worried about episode 9. Because there's a lot of reactions of this movie where, keeping it vague here on this movie cast, of excitement for 9.
I think that it's Star Wars. It's not going to matter.
I think it'll still do less than this one, though.
It'll probably get to 200.
It might get to 200, but again, $20 million drop, like Mike said.
It could go down, but it also depends on how they advertise it.
Sure.
I think if they advertise it as this is the end of the trilogy of trilogies, I obviously we all know there's going to be a new trilogy, but this is closing out the Skywalker chapter. If that's how they advertise it, this is the end of the saga, before we start a new one, that could have marketing potential.
They're gonna have to do some gymnastics.
It's almost like if Disney had another movie that they've been building for 10 years, and would market it properly, which they might be doing already, and building this universe of franchises they can build.
You could even put it out on May the 4th or something.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I went and saw this the Last Jedi in Dolby Cinema on Sunday, which was awesome to watch this movie in. The subwoofers on your seat, it's really cool. But I got to see the Marvel, the Avengers Infinity War
trailer. Oh yeah.
On that, I'm like, oh my god! It was like I can't wait for this movie. I really can't. Watching it in Dolby Cinema.
You know what's funny though is like I think I might like I have liked Star Wars: The Last Jedi more if I saw the trailers.
Corey,
this is like the reverse.
Corey, for the record here, for the record,
some could say it's the reverse.
I'm going to agree with Corey on this situation. I wish I had watched the trailers of this movie, and going forward, I won't do
seen the trailers afterward? What they were?
Interesting.
Did you watch the trailers afterwards?
Yeah,
I have not.
I have.
It's like,
because like I've experienced movies where like I've not known anything about them, and that is great. But the problem with Star Wars is you already have conceptions as to what you expect from this movie.
Yeah.
So going in blind means nothing because
I think
I already had expectations.
I don't think I'll do this experiment again for the Star Wars episode 9. I think I might do this. I might do this though for like the new trilogy from Rian Johnson. Maybe I will do this. But
Unknown Entity, sure.
Yeah.
But I think that because
we already knew and stuff, Infinity War.
It didn't make sense.
No, I can't do that already. But
it's too late.
I learned that lesson, and
do it now
maybe I'll do that for Homecoming too, for Spider-Man.
Oh my.
Because what? Watch the trailer?
Yeah, because
I'll say I'll do it for the next DC movie.
The purpose of doing the not watching the trailer thing is because so many times you watch that famous joke like Thor. Let's take Ragnarok. With Thor seeing the Hulk. He's a friend from work. And that line is fantastic, but it gets ruined in the trailer. If it was in the movie by itself without ever seeing it, it would be awesome.
And then you dislike the dumb people who actually laugh at it in the movie theater.
Yeah, you're like, you've never seen this,
It's
really?
like, why are you watching this movie if you haven't seen that?
But Mike, I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy who didn't know that was there. But we didn't get that with this movie because The Last Jedi is out, and I would have much more preferred watching the trailers, I think, myself, too. I agree with Corey.
So it's almost as if you had planned on something going the right way, and it failed.
I have to learn. Lesson. I have to learn from my failures. Let's just say that.
I like it. I respect it.
I think that's the title of this podcast, Learn from Your Failures.
Yep.
So yes, very good box office debut for this. We knew it could beat 248 million, but 220 is excellent, and I really hope. I said
you were the only one that made that bet with Mike, right? I'm pretty sure I did not.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I was the only one
that made that bet. Those guys.
So I was like,
I really hope for a strong China because of the Rose character. I'm hoping for an Asian market hold, like big hold. Yeah. So.
Good luck with that.
You underestimate the power of the Asian
They don't even like China. I mean, China doesn't even
They don't even like themselves?
China doesn't even like Star Wars that much.
Right, but that's the thing is that they keep trying new things.
Yeah, I know.
It hopefully
Rogue One did well. So.
Yeah. I think having Rose in this major role. I think that it's a major role. It's not.
That's.
Well, we're not getting the spoil.
She's on the poster.
Yeah.
She's on a poster.
No spoilers here.
I did throw her.
It's a personal, it is a big deal for marketing purposes.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
So
and not only that, but like Hollywood representation. It's super important.
You gotta have the minorities in there.
Like I mean, right? Exactly.
Token black guy.
Like Finn being in it is like super important just for perception, and public awareness, and just diversity and inclusivity. I mean.
Yeah. So
important.
Honestly, I'm hoping for this week. This weekend, I'm hoping for 110 million. Is my goal. That's a 50% drop off. I
think you could do it. I think you could do it.
Do you count Monday though? Because of Christmas Day.
I don't know how does the numbers come out though? Like what would your rotten? Where do you go?
Because I think Christmas Day is going to be very good.
Oh yeah, Christmas Day is going to be excellent. Monday's going to be excellent.
So, Rogue One set like a record for that. And I think this will beat that. So I don't know. I really think that it's going to have a very strong hold. I really not stronghold, but good weekend after this.
I mean, if we're getting the numbers on Sunday like we always do, I don't think it's getting the 110.
Sunday's going to get hit hard. That's the problem with Christmas Eve. It really will. Sunday is going to be like
Yeah. Realistically speaking, I think
90?
we're gonna actually see a bigger drop off this weekend.
You think 90?
But the next week it's gonna
better
be
hold.
spread out because it's gonna have better holds.
So we might see 90 this weekend and then a better hold for the week.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we're talking about 90 being
Being a huge bad.
and that's
bad
only
drop.
3 million less than Justice League in the opening weekend.
I don't know why we keep comparing Justice League to a Star Wars movie, but that's okay.
Because that
Well,
is a
Batman and Superman,
franchise,
I would say.
Mike, that was expected
Well,
to
you know,
do a
at least
billion.
that movie was enjoyable.
Wow. You can't make that statement, really. You really don't think The Last Jedi was enjoyable?
I came out of it
yes.
feeling disappointed. I was not disappointed
So let's
coming
get
out of
into our
Justice.
impressions of this movie real quick, spoiler free. Mike obviously just
Oh.
made that statement. We're all on the same score. except
I
for
will
Corey.
just to throw it out there. I'd rather watch Justice League than Last Jedi again.
I disagree with you on this. After watching this,
I knew you guys would. That's why I didn't say anything before. But since Mike said it, I'll throw it out there as well.
First of
See,
all,
this is what I don't understand. We can get in the impressions, but like, you have Justice League, you have the Snyderverse, you have DC, whatever you want to, whoever you want to blame for the quality of these movies or the commercial flop of these movies, and you guys are just like, yeah, I'm okay with it. But then Star Wars comes out, and you guys are like up in arms about like what they did and expectations and all this bullshit. Like, if anything, you should be riding against Warner Brothers and DC and Snyder.
Tony, in my defense, I gave it the same score as you, and I was critical of the movie. And I still have my gripes. I still do. But I still really like the movie and recommend people going to see it.
Coming out
So-
of Justice League, I'm excited to see what's next in that universe. I'm not
Nothing.
as excited to see what's coming next in
And
the
this is
Star
where
Wars
Mike
universe.
and I diverge.
That's how
from
it
our
is.
Agreement on this thing. Mike, I disagree with you 100%. I do look forward to what they're bringing.
And we know this already. We've been harping on Justice League forever. I'm excited to see what they do next. If Ben Affleck's not in it, then I don't care anymore. So whatever, we're done. Justice League, let's fork in it. Like, we know where we stand on these movies.
Yeah.
So we're here for Star Wars. I think Star Wars was well shot, beautiful, great action.
Had
Oh, yeah.
some great
Excellently
moments.
shot. So
But
Ryan
not
Johnson.
moments,
It's not
but
what
I
I
can't
wanted
help but feel
myself.
profoundly disappointed leaving the theater.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was initially,
Mike,
gut
you
reaction,
give it
first thing I
7.5,
thought was
7?
not what I wanted.
Corey gave it a 6.5. Tony, you give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5 as well.
I gave it like a 7.
Like, my stipulation on this score is the fact that it can be enhanced based on episode 9.
Sure.
So, but yeah, go see it because I have to win a bet, and it's worth it because I've seen it twice already myself. And see it in Dolby Cinema because it's more expensive that way.
Oh my god.
I mean, I will say that, like, I do think this movie has a better chance of holding up than the other Star Wars films.
Well, they use
'cause
practical effects too. They really
right,
did.
and it's crazy the number of sets they built for this movie because, like I mentioned it, I don't know if it was even on the podcast or it was Forecast, but they built 120
Yeah,
something like that, 129 sets for this film. Like, and you don't even notice it because like it's crazy. But they built these sets. I even think Lucas commented on that, saying like, "Why the hell are you doing that? Like, just green screen everything.
Oh yeah. Well, he
Lucas
sort
did
of
actually say
missed
that.
Why are
Why
you wasting
did you
all
do
this money?"
Yeah. Yeah. So we had. Go ahead. I mean, it's like we said. It's a good movie. Well, decent movie for all of us, but
It's a good but flawed movie.
Flawed.
If you
The stepping
were the
stone
type
to the
that
next
said
one.
if you were the type that said, well, fuck the prequels, they were bullshit, George Lucas, blah blah blah. If you're like, oh, The Force Awakens, like it was kind of like the same thing, like A New Hope. I want them to do something new, but it can't be Empire Strikes Back because that would just do the same beat. Yeah, you're probably gonna be disappointed. It takes whatever you have, preconceived notions, and fucking throws it out the window. So
guys, my
either have no
advice-
expectation or understand that's what you're going into.
My advice to all of you is learn from its failures.
Great.
For Star Wars learn from his failures,
Yeah,
or
learn from the
who-
whole
who
Star Wars
what are you
universe
talking
failures. Everything.
about?
Learn from your failures and its failures of the Star Wars universe. Yeah. Ryan Johnson is very excited, obviously, to film the next set of movies. He's doing a trilogy that's not based in this universe.
He was so excited he started
Well, it's
it in
based
the
on the
movie he had already.
Galaxy.
Oh, wait, we
far,
never
far
actually
away.
did. Wait, let's do the top 5 real quick. We never did that. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. Ferdinand, Coco, Wonder, and Justice League at 5.
You said Injustice.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So yes, there's your top 5. All right. So Ryan Johnson's very excited to do the new trilogy of this universe, and I understand why, because I watched this movie and I understand like he's a good director, and you can watch what he wanted to do, but he didn't want to be burdened by previous. You can tell in this movie he did not want to be burdened by things. So just keeping it vague.
He just wanted to write a movie
Yeah.
that he wanted to write.
He wanted to
not have to worry
He wanted
about
to do his own
anything
thing. So I'm very excited for this trilogy actually coming up. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be better having not having to tie into all 7 of the other films.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for something new. I want to see something new.
I am too. So I'm good. I'm good with what he's doing. All right, let's go into the Fox purchase from Disney bought Fox last week. We mentioned this a long time ago. $52.4 billion, the Fox purchase. So X-Men are back in the Marvel universe, guys.
The problem is, I believe we won't get even that stinger in Infinity War because we need to wait until when for the government.
It'll be the second Avengers.
We need to wait a certain amount of months for the government to actually pass it.
A year.
Yeah, so you're not going to get a stinger in Infinity War.
Not in this. No, I said the second Avengers movie. What is it? Infinity Gauntlet or whatever they're going to do in the next movie is going to be
the 4th Avengers movie.
The 4th, not the second Avengers, but the second coming up. Yes, 4th Avengers movie will be when we get the stinger. I think that's my prediction.
I think you might get something before
that. I think that's a perfect time for it.
We'll see.
Launch Phase 4 with the X-Men.
I mean, who's not to say that some other film has something in it, not a Marvel film?
What's left? I mean, Spider-Man, I guess. No, it's
Same.
after. Wait, what's coming out in between?
Deadpool 2.
That would be cool. That would be cool to do something. They could.
They might
has to be in
mention
that.
something.
It has to be mentioned in that. 100%. I even talked about it a few podcasts ago.
Didn't they do that post credits like after the movie was finished and done? Yeah. They could do that. Yeah. So that'd be cool. So we get.
What's interesting though is She-Hulk is still owned by Universal.
And the Hulk.
I don't. Well, the Hulk is also in Marvel.
Licensed to Marvel.
Yeah, but they don't have any license to She-Hulk whatsoever. I thought it was kind of funny.
She-Hulk is.
It's just so random.
Yeah.
So do we get Doctor Doom finally as a villain someplace?
Yeah.
We'll
Absolutely.
have to go to some villain now after this.
Or Galactus. Those are the next two that you can.
And I'm sure because
Like,
Silver
not
Surfer they've
Galactus.
been wanting to use before as well, so I'm sure Silver Surfer will show up at some point.
Yeah.
I think we definitely see Doom because he's probably a bit more relatable. I mean, he can have like more of a presence throughout different things, like kind of like how Thanos, is like more galactic. Doom could be just like more Earth, but focused. But he can interact with he can interact with the Fantastic Four. He can sort of interact with the X-Men, the Avengers.
And
all
he's
that
got
shit.
a great like army that he can have with his Doombots. He can just have mindless minions being thrown at heroes for them to fight.
Yeah.
I think that counters Iron Man quite well. So I think that works.
And that would be great in the next Avengers after.
Yep. After Thanos, how do you follow it up? Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you follow up Thanos. That really is a good Doctor Doom, not emo Doctor Doom. So we get that whole purchase. They also own The Simpsons, guys. Is that big?
Yeah. It's now possible that even though it's the movie cast, in a Kingdom Hearts
game, yes.
we got a Final Fantasy, Disney, and Simpsons, and Family Guy.
And Family Guy, yeah.
Like Homer Simpson could be a summon, and he'll just summon donuts and rain it on fucking Sephiroth.
Do they rename the Fox 5 channel? Do you think they do that?
Maybe.
I think they might.
No.
Well, apparently they are going to have to do something with the television shows that were on there because they're not going to be on there.
No.
Like Legion.
Legion and Gifted. What goes on with those?
Yeah.
The ratings are good enough for Gifted to get actually renewed, and Legion obviously was. So what do you do with that? I mean, there's a lot of questions out there. There's a lot of properties for Disney to own.
They now own 60% of
Yeah.
Which is why the government's taking a look.
But I would like to point out at this point, I'm going to bring in this other news. I'm going to bring in Matthew Vaughn into this news talk.
Okay.
Matthew Vaughn wants to direct a DC film, which has nothing to do with this next statement because he goes on record to state that the bar was set quite low from X3. And I just love that sequence where he says, I'm going to bring this in right now. Hang on here.
Well, is he bitter that he didn't get to make his X-Men movie?
No,
what was the point?
Well, maybe. But he had mentioned the fact that it was the bar is set quite low. So it's like you have a lot of room here to improve on the universe. Essentially, his argument is, so when I did X-Men, there was a pretty low bar with X-Men 3. No offense, was not a fantastic piece of work. That's the exact quote from Matthew Vaughn on X3, Mike.
Good for him.
You defend that movie nonstop.
It's a good enough movie.
It's not that. All right.
Is it better than The Last Jedi?
Yes. I would watch that again over The Last Jedi.
Oh man. Okay.
Corey, say something.
I don't care enough right now.
I don't care.
All right. Anyway, so this purchase of Fox gets the X-Men back in the universe, and I think I hope quality control wise helps with X-Men because it
absolutely will. Like, is there a question about that?
I'm not, but the good X-Men,
yes.
Yeah, it is actually.
Really?
It is. Yeah,
you're gonna put Marvel Studios records against Fox.
The whole statement.
3 out of the last 4 X-Men universe movies that Fox have done has been great, and in my opinion, better than what Marvel has done in the last 10 years.
I disagree.
Deadpool, Logan,
was very good,
and
Deadpool was
Days of Future Past are all better than the run-of-the-mill Marvel movies we've gotten.
Days of Future Past is very good. He's right. Apocalypse was.
I wouldn't say it was
goddamn
good.
garbage.
Days of Future Past was passable.
Days of Future Past was good. I liked it. Not better.
If you want to talk about saying to like source material and expectations, Days of Future Past was terrible.
I really
they didn't do that
source material's been dead for a long time.
I really like Logan though quite a bit.
I haven't seen Logan yet.
Logan's
so.
fantastic.
I don't like Wolverine, so I don't. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't.
You should watch it as this like Swan.
If you don't like Wolverine, then you should watch Logan. Because this is not a Wolverine movie.
You should watch it. It's
that's
good.
fine.
It's good. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that them getting this property is good, but I'm worried for what we're gonna get because there's still how many movies can they release in a year? Like next year, we're getting like 8 Marvel movies because Fox still is releasing those movies. We're getting like 8 Marvel movies before the next Justice League movie. Or, sorry, DC movie. Let me rephrase that. But, anyways,
I don't see a bad thing in this. I don't, but I'm failing to see the bad in this.
Again,
any of this. Go ahead.
Going back, Matthew Vaughn had stated that he wants to do a DC film. Just tying that news into it here. And he wants to do something different. But, that was his original point of this statement. Is like he brought in First Class.
Those 8 Marvel movies that are coming out next year versus Aquaman. Man, it's going to be close. I don't know.
Yeah, Disney's going to roll.
What are they trying to do? Like, match earnings? I don't understand. Like, why that's a thing.
It's about like competitive market of comic book movies, and DC's way behind.
We know this. They started later, and they don't have as much stuff.
Yeah. Oh, well, we lost Corey.
Corey got offended.
Oh shit. Yeah, we lost Corey. What do we do? Good thing I'm doing the recording, so we're okay.
Okay.
So, anyways, let's talk about other news here. Wait, Disney acquiring Fox. Is there anything other Fox that we can talk about? Like they're acquiring here? What else? Anything else significant?
Not all of the sports, but some of the sports I heard.
No, I heard not all.
None of the sports was involved at all.
I thought that there was like 1 or 2 channels or something.
No, because they have ESPN, so they're not allowed to have any of the sports.
Yeah.
Really?
All right. Well, let's get into what we've watched. How about that, Mike? What have you watched?
I've watched the 2-parter. Well, aside from The Last Jedi, we talked about that enough. I watched the 2-part opening of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So yes, now I missed last week's podcast, and I'm gonna chime in here as well that I watched it as well. And
only those 2. I haven't watched it since
I
then.
watched
so
3 as well, but
I watched the first 2-parter of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and first of all, Mass Effect soundtrack. Like,
sure.
It's the soundtrack for Mass Effect so much so that it distracted me a little bit, and I'm also was distracted by fake Star-Lord a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But I liked what the direction they're going for the show. I really do. It
just reminded me too much of what it isn't and what it can't be. Sort of the way that happened.
Yeah,
but like, this would be cool if it was actually tied in, but it never will be.
But I've accepted that, Mike, for what it is. So
it just sort of reminded me of how far and the removed from that it is. So that I
think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been fantastic, and I really like that they've changed every storyline.
I have not seen episode 4 yet, Corey, but
yeah, I just saw the first 2, the 2-parter.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 I've seen, and they're great.
Honestly, I liked part 1 way more than part 2. Part 2 got kind of boring to me.
For the record, S.H.I.E.L.D. has not been bad since the first part of its last season. Like the first couple episodes of last season.
The Ghost Rider stuff?
I love the Ghost Rider stuff.
Oh, not in Ghost Riders. It was, right before the break for the last season, I guess. Because the Ghost Rider was good. Actually, no. Wow, I'm not even going to go back that far. It's going back to the season before. S.H.I.E.L.D. has been on point, actually.
Yeah, I can understand some of the Inhuman stuff, but I thought last season was stellar throughout.
I thought that the end of the season before that was not great. That was the Inhuman stuff, so...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Human stuff, that's right.
But now they can do mutants! So we're all
They're not going to do anything now.
Mike, if they're still on TV, they will do mutants.
They're not going to be on TV after this year.
If they're still going to be on TV. What?
Is there a bet there?
If they're on TV, they'll do mutants.
On TV when?
What? It won't even be. It'll be.
It wouldn't be
they're on
next
TV
year,
for another.
after
If
that.
you know what though, I will go on a limb because I'm about to lose a bet to Mike for Force Awakens, and Last Jedi. I'll go on a limb here and say that by the end of the next season, if they're on TV for season, was it 6 at that point? By the end of the next season 6.
This is a huge if that it's even still around.
Sure. Will you take that bet?
Can I bet that they won't be around?
No. I'm taking a bet that if they're around and they go to season 6, they'll mention by the end of the season mutants.
No. No, I'll only do it if the bet is that
so
it's...
many better odds here.
Only if the deck is stacked in my favor.
No, because the whole point is, if they're somehow still on at that point, why not?
But that's
my point.
out of the equation.
But that's my point.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I don't care about that. Fine.
You're saying now they're never going to
mention. Then we're in agreement. If they're somehow still on TV, yeah, they'll have to milk from any place they can get anything. Yeah, so I'm not going to bet against that.
All right, so anyways, Mike, you didn't really care. What did you think of these 2 episodes, though?
I liked the first one. The second one, it really seemed to slow everything down to a halt to me.
Well, you got the season. So
yeah, I know.
The season of things.
But it'll be interesting. I'm just a little upset that my favorite character I haven't seen yet. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Obviously, there's a lot of questions.
Keep watching.
Yeah. I haven't watched episode 4 yet, so... I'm trying to go... I've been 2 weeks away here, so I'm trying to remember what I've watched. I watched Grand Tour, by the way. It's back. And I absolutely love that show. I
talked about Disaster Artist last week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was that. So yeah, that's it. That's the only new thing other than Last Jedi for me.
Yeah, I mean, besides The Last Jedi. I mean, The Grand Tour is a great show on Amazon, original series. I saw that Jean-Claude Van Damme's show is back on now. It's premiered.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Did you watch
reality
the Emoji
show?
movie yet?
That's the weird show. What?
Did you watch the Emoji movie yet?
No. I will watch that during the Christmas break. I'm off. I will watch that. I promise you.
I gave you a family-friendly movie too.
I will watch it.
You could use that as an excuse.
I will watch it. Trust me. I will watch it. It's been a busy
I understand. I'm just rubbing it in.
Yeah, I know. I want to watch. I do want to watch a couple movies. I'm trying to think of what I've watched. I watched a lot of Christmas movies actually. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Let's see, what else have I watched? The Year Without Santa Claus. These are classic, real, 100% Christmas movies. I'm not making any shots at any movies that Mike thinks is a Christmas movie or anything like that. I'm just saying that these are, Elf, not movies that happen during Christmas, but movies that are about Christmas spirit and stuff like that. So.
So you're saying there's a difference. There's movies about Christmas and then there's Christmas movies.
Oh, God. Can we just please move on?
All I know that if you end with a Christmas song and fake snow, it's a Christmas movie.
Anyways, I picked up Dragon Ball Z Kai part. They actually released it. Yeah, I'm going back to Kai. Well, because they brought back the Boo Saga and Kai episodes.
Fucking watch Super.
Well, I did.
I even watched Super.
I'm just saying Kai is a great cut for the Dragon Ball Z saga. It is.
I would rather watch Dragon Ball Z abridged, to be honest.
I am disappointed they split the Boo Saga into 3 Kai DVDs.
Well, yeah, that's why it got shitty.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
So I bought those, and they're, it's good. It's not, you're right, though. It's not the same translation as before, where they were one Blu-ray cut down to one set, They seem to have definitely not cut as much anymore. So, other than that, though, I've watched the S.H.I.E.L.D. I've watched Grand Tour and Gotham, which is fine. Nothing wrong with Gotham. Better than anything on CW.
Nothing right with it.
Huh?
Did you watch The Crisis on Earth X?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I do want to watch that, but it's better than anything I watched on CW. So
I think Arrow's probably better than whatever's on Gotham this year, but I don't know.
At this point, but before it wasn't, Mike. That's all. I'm going off of before.
Yeah, like a year or two ago, yeah.
Well, last season. That's when I stopped watching Arrow.
You didn't watch it at all last year either.
Yeah, I did. I just stopped midway.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think Jim lasted a little longer.
I lasted longer than his other two
Tony and
guys.
I were out
So
way early.
I watched the first half of last season.
Yeah, I think Corey and we didn't even start that season.
I did. So I watched his son show up. That was last season. I watched I
didn't even know he had a son until I saw a promo with it.
I watched the shitty-faced magician dude, magic guy.
That was the end of the previous season.
Oh, that was the end of the last season. This season.
Yeah, Damien Dark, that was the end of
But didn't this one have, the resurrection of...
Last season was his, he started a new team,
Wait,
remember?
didn't Deagle... Yeah, oh God, this was the terrible team. Yeah, this was the terrible team with the shitty fucking siren bitch. She's terrible and this fucking terrible. And it had the Mr. Fantastic garbage.
I think that was the previous
Mr.
season.
Terrific, you think?
Yeah,
Mr. Fantastic
Terrific.
is a different,
Same difference.
different universe, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, it had that. It had the terrible guy, Casey Jones guy. It had the yeah, I watched that season, Mike. Part of it.
I mean, Stephen,
and then I checked out. Yeah, no, not Stephen Amell. The guy who wanted to be too much
I'm sorry. It was a perfect setup.
Yeah, it was. All right, so I watched it.
Still never saw that.
Anyways,
movie.
Corey, what have you watched?
I got to see Baby Driver.
Oh, nice.
Which
What'd you think of it?
Good.
Very
I mean,
artsy,
I liked
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's what I kind of expected from him, but at the same time, it was very different than what he does. I mean, by Edgar Wright.
It was a weird movie because it did meet exactly what I was expecting, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. So
it's good. And
wait, is that possible? Can you enjoy a movie that does what you expect?
it's weird to say that, Mike, but yes, you can apparently.
Weird.
Yeah, I know.
Saw that. Obviously, we saw Star Wars. I actually did start watching Super a little bit.
Yeah. Wait, where did you start, though?
The beginning.
Oh, no. Sweet Summer Child. No. How far are you?
I only just started, so it's only been a few episodes.
Watch the
Okay,
I can
here.
loan you.
Yes.
I'll loan you the
I'm going to
Frieza
save you so
Resurrection.
much of your time. Watch Battle of the Gods, the movie.
Yeah,
and watch
I got 'em.
Return of F, the movie. And then you can start at episode
I got him.
40-something with the series. And I swear to God, you will not lose anything that is actually important or
You won't.
pivotal.
You won't.
You
I
won't.
watched them, Corey. I did what you did, and I should
And
listen.
you'll actually get good very good animation, because I will tell you, the first year of Super was god awful. The animation.
Well,
was
I'm watching
laughing.
it, so I was like,
It is
"What's so
terrible.
great about this?"
Right, it is so bad, dude. Because I will say,
I'll
if
just
you're
look
watching
at that.
Super right now from the beginning, you probably won't even get to the good stuff. If I would,
Based
I
on
would
what I
fear-
saw, I was not impressed.
Right,
so-
that's what I'm saying. Watch Battle of the Gods, the movie. Watch Return of F, the movie, and you can start at episode, like I said, whatever. We can look it up, and then you can go from there. First couple months of Super were fucking terrible. Not super at all.
I did want to mention the fact that Mike, you would be interested in this one. I watched Runaways, by the way.
Oh,
Excellent, very good.
excellent.
Yeah, I really like that show. For the record,
Okay.
for those wondering, I watched 4 episodes of the Hulu show, past episode 1 that we saw, and I really like that show.
So did you got to the 5th episode then?
I'm on episode 5 now.
Okay.
It's very good. It's so much better than the pilot, Mike. So much better.
Yeah,
that pilot is very much what we thought it was, and then after that it settles in nicely. So, but go on, Corey. Go on.
So yeah, just continuing anime. I watched Your Name.
You did?
We talked about it last week. So it's definitely. I could see why Hollywood wants to make a live action movie from this, and not that it reminds me of, but it has a moment in it where I think that, and I don't know, you guys never saw Magical Girl Modokai, whatever that show's called. Yeah, whatever. Because it sounds like the stupidest show ever, but what Your Name does here, Magical Girl kind of does the same type of thing where it's like has this twist that you don't expect it to be in the show, and it's just something you want to talk about and be like, oh, what did you like? Did you like see it coming? Like, what did you think about this? And with Your Name, I feel like it has something moment like that where like, oh wow, this is not going in the direction I expected it to go, and but it's very touching and has the feels and
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a worthwhile film. As far as it's very Japanese too, so I don't know. I mean, I see why Hollywood wants it though, because I can see it playing to a bigger audience.
Yeah. The thing is that the base story, like the core, the seed, whatever you want to call it, like it's just so good that I think if they can adapt it well, it can succeed. That's the question about it. Is like you got to really.
Yeah, and I've seen. I mean, that's the thing is like My Sassy Girl is one of my favorite Korean films, and it has a great core, like you said. And they remade that as a Hollywood film, and it just lost the magic. Like it didn't translate properly. So we'll see what they do, but I definitely think it helps being in animation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I would say if you're one of there's a couple different types of anime fans. I'll really narrow it down to two types. Like you have the ones that are like weebs and otaku, whatever you want to call it, and you have the fans that are like, oh, I watch like Studio Ghibli stuff. If you're like a Studio Ghibli type anime person, like watch Your Name.
Oh,
guaranteed. Like
I'm not very much like that person.
No, I mean, the weebs can enjoy it too, but I'm just saying, like, if you're the type, you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch Dragon Ball, I'm not gonna watch Naruto, I'm not gonna watch Bleach. Like, you can enjoy this.
Well, it's not an action. It's not a fighting like tournament style anime. It's not a high school kid learning to accept his powers. It's not like that. So I mean, it's definitely more of a slice of life kind of thing. But then at the same time, there's a element to it that makes it special, and it's not just a Freaky Friday thing either, which I was worried about when I first heard it. What the premise?
Right, that's what I said too. Like that, I was like, I don't want to use this comparison because it's like so bad, but like it's the easiest way to just get the baseline thing of it across. And I hope that held up and it didn't like sweat your pants. But yeah.
All right, Tony.
Just Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nobody got time for other stuff.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up the Moviecast. Those watching and viewing, thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek, and like us on Facebook. And subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We're on video. Hi.
Annyeong.
Yep. Tune into the Gamecast and the spoiler cast this week is The Last Jedi. So if you have watched the movie, listen to it. It is a long spoiler cast, so maybe not
lots of content.
Maybe you don't have to devour it in one sitting unless you love it, which is I hope you do. But if you don't, you divide it up. It's car rides. It's the idea behind our podcast. So hope you enjoy it.
Listen at your leisure.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy this. Hope you enjoy that, and I hope you enjoy the Gamecast coming up. Thanks.